Shalom Aleichem. Okay, so we'll get a little more into Hanukkah. Today we're going to learn the Sfas Emes. The Sfas Emes. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. The Ger Rebbe, Holy Ger Rebbe, is very deep. Last week we spoke about Hanukkah being a super time of revelation of Hashem beyond Shabbos, which so the Mishnah in Shabbos that brings Tilot v'shmanim, all the wicks and oils that can't be used on Shabbos. That means neshamot. Neshama is a candle. Ner Hashem nishmat adam. A neshama comes into this world to fill the world with light, testify the unity of Hashem in the world. And in the 6 days of the week, and the involvement of the teva, which is nature, also in Lashon HaKodesh, the same word as Devorah, to drown. It's interesting that nature has a drowning effect, a sinking effect. A person could sink into the teva, the Devorah b'teva. So a person comes into the teva, they have Shabbos. Shabbos is a time that they pull back from everything, no lametet melachot. We're disassociated from the olam hatikun. We're going into the fixed world. And this gives Shabbos gives a yid a koyach that no matter how involved he gets into this world, he could always remember his tachlis and light his candle, so to speak. Connect his consciousness, regain his consciousness. We said that neshamas, to some neshamas, especially in Galut, so many neshamas, that Shabbos doesn't light their candle. They don't stop on Shabbos. The kedusha of Shabbos could hover around in a neshama, but it doesn't actually enter the consciousness. The person could be busy elsewhere. He could put his attention so low, be so sunk and caught up in the world, so drowning, that the light of Shabbos doesn't awake. Chaz v'shalom. So the light of Chanukah, Segula of Chanukah, as the Chanukah goes lemata ma'asara tefachim. The light of Chanukah is a mitzvah. The way we perform the mitzvah, the halachic space, and the geder of how we perform the mitzvah shows us the nature of this godly light. The nature of this light is a light that goes into Reshut HaRabim, into the public domain, into the Mata Masara Tvachim. It goes very, very deep. And I'm always, trying to bring us more home and more to simplify these ideas. Okay, so it's like very gewalt and very holy. So what do I do this Hanukkah? How do I connect this? Okay. Then now says the holy Sfas Emes. So we say that the candles of Hanukkah, we light them. This light that appears on Hanukkah is a light of Kodesh. It's a light that's not chol. It's not mundane. It's not meant for the use of this world. There's a very high revelation that's appeared now. It's a mitzvah just to see the candle. Mashma shenerot Chanukah meirin lechol nefesh Yisrael. The candles of Chanukah, they light up the neshama of every yid. Sheyuchal lirot et atzmo. That you can see, Efani, where am I? Histaklut shetzarech lechal adam kmo shekaz histakel b'shlosha dvarim. The Mishnah teaches us in Avos, histakel b'shlosha dvarim ve'en ata ba ledaber. A person is constantly meditating in three dvarim, three types of thinking, then you'll never miss the point of life. Right? Ma'ayin bata, I always remember where are you from. Where are we all going after this? Who's my boss? Who am I going to have to answer to at the end? There's only one, the only one. Person remembers this, clear that they won't fall into any arrogance, any depression, or anything deep like that, anything that can stop a person. Because I remember I'm an ayin, I come from the ayin. So this is taklut. The Mishnah recommends for a Jew to live with. This should be our state of mind, our state of being. This doesn't mean istakel, doesn't mean to look with our eyes. It means to remember, to be aware. But we said a Jew could be in this world, they can be so drowned in nature that they can't even istakel. So when can I open up my eyes? So Hanukkah gives you the istakel. Hanukkah is like mamish, because Hanukkah, right? If I'm sunk, if we're drowning in nature, then it's my feeling. I'm feeling like I'm in nature. I have to do what I have to do. My ishtadlut will get me my thing, right? My cause and effect. Nature, you're sunk into that. Or feeling that relationships, people, we're all in relationships. Some of the relationships are better, some are need to get better, some are stuck. All that is nature, all that is teva. Imagine that Hashem gives us for Hanukkah special glasses, supernatural glasses. Right, there's a gift Hashem gives every year in Hanukkah. You get those, right? Those give glasses the kids that they show stars and colors, all kinds of funky glasses. This eyes, this vision of nisim. And when a person is sunk in nature, when they think that this is how it is, I'm in this relationship, this is how it's going to go, I can tell this is how it is, they kind of like, they play God and they figure out how it's going to be and they just give up. And that's darkness, that's choshech, that is Greek. That is the choshech of Yavan. For a Jew to think in natural terms, that's darkness, that's not real. Because we have nothing to do with nature, we're going to see this. So when could we open up our eyes on Hanukkah? Because Hanukkah is when our entire nation, when the entire world is experiencing the world in the real order, in the supernatural order. So since this is happening in the world, then we're going to bring this and welcome it and invite this into our home, into our thinking. We want our natural way of thinking to be upgraded. We want to start seeing the world really the way it is, that it's all supernatural. We don't want to see it this way only on Hanukkah. We want to start seeing it this way on Hanukkah, but then we're never taking off those glasses. But that's really the truth. Is nature the truth? No. Nature is temporary condition. The Creator wants us to be in nature, so there's free will. It's not the truth. As a matter of fact, this world is called Olam HaSheker, the world of falsehood. It's not true that nature is nature is a choice. It's one choice, is one level of creation of the Creator. This is always a theme that the Sfas Emes is following, and all the Sefer Chasidut are following. The real victory of Hanukkah was really, really not the candles. It was the war. You have one Jewish family of Kohanim that win the entire Greek army. The celebration that year was clearly thanking Hashem for the war. We're going to see that only the year afterwards they realized that something infinite happened here. Only the year afterwards is when they set Hanukkah to be a Yom Tov forever. That year was just a great Yom Tov. And that's when they realized, hey, it wasn't just the war that we won. It was actually the darkness that we won. We weren't in a fight.
When the thing with the oil happened, they realized that was the whole island.
Of course, that was a miracle that they celebrated that year. There were many miracles that happened throughout the time of Chazal that were celebrated and not celebrated a year afterwards. Because that was an appearance of Hashem, and which was normal. Like we said, Rabbi Hanina Mendoza, we find in the Gemara many times, he has to walk somewhere, the river splits, or all kinds of like big tzaddikim that just had like Kriyas Yam stuff happen to them. No big deal, we don't celebrate it, nothing, we just move on. Why? Because this was a private showing of love that was necessary for Am Yisrael at that given time, to that tzaddik. Hanukkah, we said, Hanukkah is important for us, is what the mitzvah that Am Yisrael need to hold on to in this dark galus of Edom. Meaning, in this the galus that we're still in, that's not ending, that Hashem should end by today. Oh, wow, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem. In this galus, Hashem said, in order to survive this galus, you need to have a super duper miracle. As a matter of fact, we said this last week, the mitzvah of Hanukkah is the 620th mitzvah. It was a 613. The 7 mitzvahs are Rabbanan bring up to 620. 620 is a very big deal. That's ketel. Ketel is crown. Crown is ratzon. That means the Creator is telling us that you're going to go into a very, very deep galus. Take my crown with you. Meaning, take something that forever and ever, till Mashiach comes, Hanukkah will be your candle. That means that if you guys get too sunk, if you drown in nature, tovim teva is drowning, then I'm giving you my crown. There's going to be 8 days that you're going to be able to draw down to 13 midot of rachamim. That's how we got into all this, because the entire Tomer Devorah that we were learning, the entire magic of Hanukkah, the magic of Hanukkah is that the creation is experiencing the flow of arichanpin, the beer, the great keter. It's really the flow of the keter. The 13 midot are giving me the keter. So I said, I'm giving you my keter. I'm giving you the ability to draw my 13 midot of rachamim. Take that into galut. You're going to need this till Mashiach comes. One second. Actually, very good. So I'm jumping around because the Sfas Emes is massive on Hanukkah, and I can't cover everything. I'm just trying to take a little points from here and to put one idea together. So returning to the idea that Hallel was established and the next year, the following year. So let's talk about miracles in general. Hashem does miracles. We have to thank Him for doing a miracle. So the days of Hanukkah, we're going to see the main mitzvah of Hanukkah. Yes, it's lighting candles, but the main energy of these 8 days is lehodot ulehalel. Halel vehoda'ah. That's the main avodah. Meaning the only 8 times that Am Yisrael says Hallel 8 days straight with a bracha is Hanukkah. The main days are days of praise of Hallel, and we're going to see what the Hallel does in the miracle. But the question is, why does Am Yisrael need so many miracles? Like, we're the chosen nation. Just make it happen. Like, you're creating all these monsters and all these villains and all these challenges, and like, why is this the plan? Okay, so I understand, like, okay, God, but why? Okay. You can do so many ways. You don't need to bring about a necessity of a miracle. So why does Hashem do this? To show His extra love. Hashem wants to show His love to His nation. That means, of course, I could lead you guys through, like, I could take you home the normal way. But then we're just going to be the boring way. Should we take the scenic route and then we'll become really good friends? Let's do it. Right? That's what the Creator is saying. We learned the Ramban that we studied a couple weeks ago, Levi, that the Creator doesn't just want to show, hey, I'm the Creator of the world. As a matter of fact, racism, which is such a strong word, is probably one of the most important concepts in Judaism. Racism is very, very important. Racism is the ability for a person to become superior, not than another person, superior than his own animal soul. It means the race is on, my friends. Why are we special? Because we are the kids of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. What was so special about them? Hey, they changed their DNA. That's all they did. They became Bayashanim, Rachmanim, Gad Mechasadim. They absolutely uprooted their nature to become givers and merciful. They weren't merciful because the other guy needed mercy. If I'm nice to you because you deserve mercy, then I'm not even being merciful. I'm being merciful to you when you don't deserve mercy, because I realize that I'm here to change. I'm here to take out my heart of stone and to turn into a heart of flesh. I'm here to become more merciful. The difficult people in my life don't deserve more mercy. That's not why they're there. They deserve it. God will give it to them. God is putting them in my life because maybe I deserve to become more merciful. It's me that I need to change. My heart of stone has to become more flesh. So the miracles, the nisim, are really, meaning the tsaras are really a way to get to the miracle. Meaning, if I'm looking at it in hindsight, let's look at Mitzrayim. After Mitzrayim, Am Yisrael goes out of Mitzrayim, we receive the Torah. Receiving the Torah would be impossible if it wasn't for the Galus of Mitzrayim. Or Chaim HaKadosh speaks about this in Tzaddik. I mean, it's clear that we had to go through this birth, through this pregnancy, and this birth to reach this level of receiving the Torah. And in Yavan, we find the same thing. The Torah Sheba'al Peh, the Mishnah, was not written, was starting to be written down by the Zugos, by the great Tanoim, till the Jews took over the Greek thinking and the Greek, that whole war was taken over. So Hashem wants to give us the Torah, so he puts us through the process of Mitzrayim. Hashem wants to give us Torah Shebaal Peh, and he puts us through the pain of Yavan. We have to go through the darkness of the philosophy to appreciate the truth of the light. That's how it is. So that means that all the galut is only a prep. It's only a way to get to the miracles. The miracle, that's what the Gemara really says, that kadosh makdim refuah lamaka. That by us, it's actually that the cure is born before the disease. So why is there a disease? Only to bring about the cure. Why? Because the cure will bring so much love. And after the cure comes, there'll be something new that wasn't there before. Meaning it's necessary. If it could have happened another way, it would have happened. But the way to the light must voyage, must go through that darkness. It's a must. Meaning the light is not there. The light is created through the quest of the souls in the darkness, requesting that light. They're bringing it into the world. They had a Sarah. So that year, they had a tremendous war. They just won. So they don't have Yishuv Adas, like we're not making a holiday right now. We're just making a party. We're thanking Hashem. Afterwards, when the next year came by and they felt, wow, the same light of Hashem, the same love of Hashem, we're feeling the same thing. הבינו כל זה שיש להלל על כל המעשה, שסיבב הקדוש ברוך הוא המלחמות כדי לעשות להם נס. That why does the Kadosh Baruch Hu make wars to create miracles? We say every day in Shachris, Hashem's Baal Milchamot. He's the master, he's the owner, he owns both sides of the war. It's like imagine you go to, right, sometimes you go to a baseball game, yeah, see that rich guy, he owns the Dodgers. And one day you go to a team, go to a game, see that rich guy, he owns both teams. So I don't know, what's he doing here? I don't know, they should both win. Hashem is Baal Milchamot. It means he owns both teams. He's owns all the teams. So why the milchamas? The milchamas they're the process, right? We're in a war now. It's not that we're in a war and peace will come and time will come and this will be over. No, it's a great light that Hashem is prepared for us in heavens. And the way to that light is through the darkness. Let's look at the Nes of Purim. The building of the second Beit Hamikdash. What an amazing event. In order to have a building of the second Beit Hamikdash, we need our entire nation as one. Now, every prophet, male and female, tried to do this, and they all failed. The only one that was able to do this was Haman. Haman is called Tzorech HaYehudim. Yeah. He brought them all to Tzorech Echad. He was able to bundle them up into one bundle. But all the 48 male prophets and 7 female prophets, the Gemara says, none of them. What Haman did, Gewalt, no one did. So, what was it? Hashem wanted to build the second Beit Hamikdash. We need the Yidden to get together. So it's called a dog. The dog gathers the sheep. That's how it is. So we have to understand that the wars are journeys, they're processes. That's why we speak about this on Purim. That means we thank Hashem that you created a dark enemy, and then you gave us the ability to win him. I mean, we thank him for the enemy. We thank him for the challenge. We thank him for the. So now we have to bring us into our private life. Every Jew has tsaras in their life. Every Jew, the becoming of every Jew, such a journey. What a book. Avraham Avinu, our father, goes through 10 nisyonot. 10 nisyonot, that means 10 massive events, challenges in his life and his being that forced him to search inward and to discover and to reveal hidden strengths that were hidden in his soul and in his essence. And he forces them to bring them out and to actualize and to behave with them, to act with them. After a person goes to an isayon, that potential power that was once hidden in your being now is actualized. Now it's actually you, right? You're stronger. Wow, you've been through something. So you can see people, you can see they matured. They've been through something very deep. What happened? Challenge. What did that challenge do? It forced them either fight or flight. Either make it, or you're gonna break from this, or you're gonna make it through it. How are you gonna make it through it? You're not able to. You have to be stronger. Oh, that strength is it's inside. It's inside. We have 10, each Jew has 10 hidden strengths in their potential, and then throughout their life, these actualize, and then they become who they are. So when a person goes to a tzara, when a person goes to a private darkness, and then he gets saved. So obviously, we're seeing over here how this is the derech of the Baal Shem Tov, the derech of Chassidus. Always look at the world events and to look at the Torah and to always realize that all this is happening in our nefesh. It's all happening in our being. The idea, the Baal Shem Tov's idea of Geula, very interesting. And we're holding in Geula times, like everyone's, there's no one that's not talking about Geula, everyone. And my understanding, the Baal Shem Tov's idea of Geula is kova and nafshi ge'ala. That means it's a bunch of private, each person redeeming their nefesh. Karva el nafshi. We ask Hashem, bring close to my nefesh, ge'ula. Allow my private self to be in redemption. Right? I should inside myself, I shouldn't be in darkness and hatred and resentment and cruelty. I should be in a redeemed place. And obviously, this collective of all these many private consciousness will create a general consciousness of Geulah. Obviously, the avodah of the prat and the avodah of the klal is two worlds. If you have an awareness, if you have a thought, it's unbelievable. But if 10 Jews have one thought, then it becomes a reality in the world. In the world, it's not just in your world; it's the world. Those 10 Jews, they're the Shekhinah, the presence of Hashem. So 10 Jews is enough. The Zohar Kadosh in one place says that to bring Mashiach, you need Knish Tachada. Knish Tachada is 1 million. 10 Jews. The Kotzker Rebbe said, the Kotzker Rebbe was such a seeker of truth. He was so disappointed from so much not truth that existed in this world. Secluded for 22 years, he was in his attic, in his room, in Kotzk. Went in. He said, all I want is 10 people that will come, 10 chassidim that will stand with me on the roof and scream, Hashem wa Elokim. It's just 10 people that don't care about this world. It's really, so this idea of Geula, which is something so cosmic and so great, really has to do with us bringing in Geula into our private lives. And then the more connected we could be to Yidden that are doing this, obviously. The second step would be that by the Yosef and his brothers. Yosef and his brothers is getting it together between us. He's getting it together between you and Hashem. He's getting it together between us. So now Hanukkah is coming. Maybe you'll meditate by your candles. Maybe you'll be busy when your husband's lighting. Maybe the kids will be screaming. Maybe you won't be able to have it. Doesn't make a difference when it is. Anytime during Hanukkah, take time to be by yourself. Take time to realize that Bayamim Ahein Bazman Hazeh is not just words. This is really, really, really true. That there's a light of Hashem. That means that there's an awareness that the supernatural and the natural is all one. And that awareness, that consciousness, if I really allow myself to be there, I could be redeemed from all the natural conclusions that I reached. Because any yeush, any type of despair or giving up is nature. It's me playing God and saying, oh, well, this is going to be like this, and this is like that, so that's like this, and that's how it's going to be, and it is what it is. What can we do? All kinds of words that will kind of like, give up or, all kinds of, no. When Hanukkah comes, we refuse. We refuse to be drowning by nature. That means that no natural way of looking should shape our worldview and give us darkness. The only way we should view the world is through the eyes of Hashem, that there's no nature in the world. And this avodah, doing this work, like we said, is not just avodah for Chanukah. This is something that we need. We need this all year. All year, we need to be living. I wish we could be living with emunah. Rav Nachman writes, when a person knows that everything that's happening to him is to his good, he is living in Olam Haba. Olam Haba is not a future thing. Olam Haba is something that we're meant to live in right now. It's a consciousness. To be a Ben Olam Haba is not after you die, it's now. Al tikri banayich elabanat, to be a Ben Olam Haba. So the way Am Yisrael does this is to lehalel velehodot, because this awareness or this emunah exists in a Jew potentially somewhere in his, belief department in his mind somewhere. But to allow himself to rejoice with it and to be redeemed from it. How can my emotions be redeemed from my own emunah that I know? If my body, if my emotions felt what my mind is feeling, I'd be so calm. I'd have such a great life. Why is there a dichotomy inside of me? What's stuck inside of me? There's truth in my higher self that could cure my lower self. And it's not, and I'm living in pain. Why? So the avodah of halel vehoda'ah, praising. And what do we praise? That I am a yid, that I'm a yid. I stand on Hanukkah and I say, Creator of the world, I'm so excited from this truth. This simple truth is really the most exciting thing that exists. If I really allow myself to chew on it and to believe on it and to really get into it, this is so exciting. Actually, nature doesn't make any difference in my life. All these issues and all these things, they're really not true. In the light of your truth, I could allow myself to feel good, to feel redeemed, to feel free, to feel that you're full control. This avodah is avodah halel vehoda'ah. When we say todah, what are we saying todah for? Not I say todah for this. Todah that I'm in this relationship. I want to acknowledge that I want halel. The word halel is also to praise, but in Lashon HaKodesh it comes from light. Behilo nero ale roshi. Hel, the shorish hey lamed is the shorish of halo. So I guess it went into English. Also a spice, right? If there's light in me, why do parts of me have to suffer darkness? There's light in my being, and there's pain in my being. How? That means my lower self is not in tune with what my higher self is in tune. This is the story of our life. This is right inside of us. Comes Hanukkah, the Chazal teach us that the avodah is to light the candles, praise, the praise, the praise, the praise, the praise. And what are we praising? We're praising our supernatural, luckiest relationship that we have. We're getting so excited over it and so involved with it. And then we're inviting it into the lower parts of our life. Rav Nachman used to tell one of his students, came to him once and spoke to him about Hitbodedut, personal prayer. And Rav Nachman said that, Rav Nachman told him, gave him particular advice. He said, you should speak to your body parts. Speak to your nose, speak to your eyes, speak to your arms, your hands, speak to your feet. He was having issues doing things. You could talk to them. But this is something that we could do in prayer and meditation by Hanukkah candles. Be involved. Like every one of us is an entire world. Adam olam katan. Every human being, the Zal says, is a miniature world. You have everything that exists in the great world exists inside of you. All the wars that are happening in the world are happening in your mind. So everything is happening inside of us and outside of us, and it's all really one because it is one. So the avodah that we're going to do on this Hanukkah is going to invite into the those low places. There's places inside of us that are low, that are dark, that are lower than Asarat Fachim. We said Asarat Fachim is the godly space. Hashem says, I'm giving you a world. In Kabbalah, you could look at the whole world as 10 Tfachim. It's really 10. I'm giving you 10 stages or 10 spheres, or giving you a process of 10. I'm not gonna get involved in it, because if I get involved in it, you're not gonna have free will. I'm staying out of that 10. The Shekhinah never goes into 10. Below 10 tefachim. Chanukah does. Because Hanukkah says, Hashem says, I'm sending you guys into Gullus. We know today it's 2,000 years of Gullus. We know today that it's the Gullus that unheard of, that Am Yisrael has been through. Can't imagine one. So I'm going to give you a time that you could invite my light and my truth. Shlach orcha v'amitecha. And you could heal every natural darkness with this light. The light of Hanukkah could heal every natural darkness. And that's why even souls that on Shabbos get stuck, on Hanukkah can have a way up. Because Hanukkah is a light of 8. It's a supernatural light that when a Jew really spends time with it and says, I really want to be connected to the truth. I want to celebrate my supernatural truth. I don't want to believe my natural truth. I want the supernatural to be stronger. And this is what I want my worldview. And not just for myself, my friends. If we have a friend that's caught up in some kind of anything wrong, so basically caught up in some kind of natural cycle. But you want to intervene, you want something new to happen to them, you want something supernatural to happen to them. Hanukkah, you sit by the candles, ask Hashem. There's no darkness. Normally, I wouldn't ask you for a miracle for Joe or for whatever it is, because the light doesn't go down. But now, Hanukkah, Hashem, you're showing us that there's a light that goes down. You created a darkness to create a miracle, to show us that we need miracles. We must have miracles. As a matter of fact, our entire nation is created supernaturally. All of our mothers were barren. They cannot have children. Why does the Creator bring about His nation through such a supernatural way? To show us that, my friends, you're born supernatural and you're always going to be supernatural. And you forever and ever need the miracle, and ask for it because you're going to get it. I'm going to keep on putting you guys the challenges. You know why? So you could ask for miracles. Private and collective. Okay. Hashem should help us that in this year, this Hanukkah, every year I feel like there's new darknesses, there's new nisyanot. Every year there's new miracles. That Hashem should give us the gift of tefillah, that we should have the zchut to speak to Him and to remember how much He loves each one of us and how much our life is a personal relationship with Him, each one of us. And may we have the zchut to daven to Him, to ask Him to really shine the supernatural hashgacha in our thoughts, in our lives. We should be so convinced and so sure of the truth of Hashem. We should be so excited of the truth of Hashem and how He deals with His nation. We should be so excited to be Yidden. We should have the zchut to invite the miraculous life of Hashem into every part of our life, into every relationship of ours. And to the contrary, when you sit and you think, where the darkest places that sometimes we don't go to all year, because we don't go there in our mind, because we put that aside, there's no way that's going to change. Hanukkah is about bringing the light of Hashem precisely to those places and realizing that those difficult relationships that you have are there as dark places, as invitations for you to go into them and to say, Hashem, I want your light. You gave me the darkness in order to give me love. Old Galut is only created for Geula. And even though during the year we run away from these dark places, on Hanukkah, let's embrace them. Let's hug the darkness on Hanukkah. Let's hug the darkness and realize that darkness is from Hashem. Darkness is a process that brings light. There's so much trust If there was any better way that Hashem could have done it, for sure it would have been done. If there was a way with less pain, for sure it would have been done. There's no question about it. Yiratzon that we should have the zchus to invite Hashem into our lives, to feel private geula. We should feel our lives. No relationship in our life should stay unturned on Hanukkah. Mamish, like Mamish daven for everything. Like, and you'll see that there's so much yush in our mind. There's so much yush. You don't realize it. You realize, hey, why are you davening for that? Because I don't know. Daven for that. And the thing you really think you can't daven for, and the real things that are really difficult, Hanukkah opened them also. Daven for everything. We should have the zchus to see really every private consciousness being awakened in the emes of Hashem, the awe and the emes of Hashem. And we should see together, kinus tzadikim yafelaim v'yafel olam. Hashem bring all the good people together, all the tzadikim and tzadkaniyot together. They empower each other's consciousness and empower each other's lives and each other's zchus. To see the Klal Yisrael coming together with tremendous avat Yisrael, and Hashem will give us the Geula, matnat chinam, a gift, a Hanukkah gift. Not because we deserve it, we don't deserve anything, but gewaldig. Chaim. Melech haolam, one sure works.
So I know you were going to be annoyed with me.
The shuk is the world's like Bria Yitzira. Regular is ridiculous. That there should be the